from Justice League versus Teen Titans to this one?
I play Jamie Reyes, and I think the Blue Beetle is, in the first movie, a comic relief character. Like the character Beast Boy and like the character Damien, there's a lot of comedy between those three characters because they're the youngest and they tend to get into the most trouble. But in the second movie, my character is taking a reserved approach. He doesn't want to get ahead of himself too much, and he doesn't have that much to prove anymore. So you could say in this film that the comic relief is actually Beast Boy. My character just takes kind of a back seat to that. It is more focused on the end mission, finding out, well, I don't get too much.
So on that note, how did you have to adapt your performance from last time? How did you have to do that, or what did you do to do that?
There were lines, and then, well, obviously, I had less content in this movie, but the first film, there were a lot of jokes and little scenes of banter, especially between my character and Damien, and my character and Beast Boy, and the two of them always seem to go off, like oil and water, they go against each other. But I think in this film he learns that in order to be a team you have to work together. You can't be the opposing force, and I think he really just wants to be a solution and less of like a problem.
And so in my final question, with the addition of the new member of the team,
right,
how does he take that?
He takes it at first with naivety. I don't think, or nativity, right?
Yeah.
Naivety.
Naivety.
He looks at it, and I don't think he realizes the severity of, because he doesn't understand that her character is not, who anyone thinks she is, and so I think it's a character growing moment when you have to learn about someone that has ulterior motives and other intentions, and as a young person you have to look at the world less naive. So I think that's what he's doing in this film. He's growing up and having to take a second look at certain people.
Do you think he'll have trust issues after this movie?
I think so. There's a lot of great action sequences in this movie, and a lot of sequences that would make you think, wow, is this going to be the last movie, or how high are the stakes? And especially, the opposing forces in this movie, Blood Brother, and then Miguel Ferrer's character. I think it really adds to the drama, the intensity, and the action. It really, there's something different about this film that makes it feel a little bit more real. It feels a little bit more almost like a real movie.
What do you like about Blue Beetle?
I like that he's young, and also, a lot of the show is, and a lot of the movies, I was able to do the show too, a lot of the movies are serious, and he takes it in a realistic approach, whether he's trying to get to the bottom of something, but he's always, not a comical relief, but always trying to find the humor in the situation. So I think that's kind of relatable. I'm young and always try to point out the bright side, and I guess in a way that the group looks to him as kind of that, for that purpose.
Would you want his abilities, or would you want someone else's abilities?
I actually know I would want his abilities, because to have,
that's honest.
Yeah, to have Blue Beetle's abilities is kind of universally awesome, just to be able to fly and to be able to laser. He has a whole system of how he eliminates his opponents, but I think just having those superpowers would be incredible, and it's not something I've ever thought about, but had I wanted to be a superhero, now I would want to play Blue Beetle, just by playing the character.
Did you have someone before in mind?
Before in mind, it was definitely Clark Kent, or Batman, just because I grew up watching and reading comic books that were those superheroes. And then also I knew who Blue Beetle was and Jamie Reyes was, but they haven't explored the backstory for that character that much. And in these movies and TV shows, you learn more about him than you would learn in the comic books. So it's really great how the writers and the people who are making these shows and movies give more to the fans that maybe you wouldn't, that you didn't read in the comic books. But maybe some people felt like that wouldn't be that good. So there's always there's two sides to the coin. Some people don't like things changed from the original, and then some people liked, that interpretation of it. But it's cool. I hope they can grow with this character. Anytime I'm asked to portray especially this superhero. It's a great opportunity. Just getting to work with these people is awesome.
Have you seen the final version of this yet?
I saw half of it. I haven't seen the final version, but I'll be watching the full thing tonight anyway.
We like to keep them in the dark.
Yeah, he only showed me half the movie, and then the rest of it was just a black screen.
First half?
I saw the first half of it on the plane here.
Oh, even better.
So just so I can at least know that half to look what it looks like, but I know the script, obviously, the story itself.
Did you read the original comic?
Not the original comic. No, I didn't. So you could say I came into it kind of green, not knowing that much about it, but I did learn a lot. I mean, ever since I started doing this character, I've learned about their whole universe, and it's been awesome. I mean, it's been great. I would love to see this character in a live-action version of Justice League. That would be cool. Or all of these characters. The Teen Titan. I think it's only a matter of time.
So are you starting to read any Teen Titan comics now that you've been involved?
Now I will. Now I definitely will because first of all, the graphic novels, there's so many out there and there's so many that exist. I love reading, and I think, it would make sense for me to start reading them now, yeah. Look at Deadpool with what they just did with that. If you love a character enough, you can build it and make it, who knows, maybe the Blue Beetle could have his own show, But I think it's great, especially WonderCon, all the fans that come here, they give their feedback and, respond to the material, whether it's in a positive way or negative way. They always, it's the most inspiring convention to come to, group of fans, better than athletic fans, right? These are the most passionate fans that I've ever, talked to.
Have you heard anything negative yet?
Never, no. And even in last year, nothing negative, but very specific. If they notice something's different in an episode, they'll point it out. Or if they notice, why didn't your character have any scenes with this character? Because the two of them, and so I always learn things from fans, and I'm always surprised. But I think that always brings you back, because you don't want to do anything different than what people's expectations are. You don't want to make that different.
Did you record by yourself?
I recorded mostly by myself. There were days when I would go into the recording studio and another actress would be there, like Christina Ricci. And I was watching the end of her session and then seeing, watching another actor. When you're doing voiceover, you have to pretend more of the time because you're doing it by yourself. So when you actually get to hear someone else doing it, it makes your performance that much better. Even if you only get like 5 minutes of their performance, you're like, oh yeah, I got to hear that. Or I got to see how their facial expressions were. Even that helps me. So I would love if maybe we could record together.
We're going to take them away.
Oh, okay.
Thank you very much for your time. Wonderful to see you.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, sit down again.